Hello and welcome back to more Films Under Constant Critique, where we take a look at films, some good, some bad, some downright awful. I'm Bongo Baikov, joined by our host Maverick, Dren, Zaria. This week we're taking a look at the 2001 and 2003 films Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, and Lara Croft, Tomb Raider: The Cradle of Life.
Those titles, I mean. Yeah.
I do love the fact that the second one has two subtitles.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah, more video game movies, and like with the Crank movies, I'm gonna take a moment to apologize for for inflicting these on you. But these were about to be taken off of Netflix, and I figured, hey, maybe this would be funny to do. You know, actually, I just realized the same thing happened with the Crank movies. They were on Netflix. I was like, hey, we mentioned those. Maybe we should do them on the podcast. And
Then we did.
And we did do those, regretfully. I'm so sorry. Let me guess, you hate me now.
No, but I do have very strong opinions on at least one of these movies.
Makes two of us. So this was released. Sorry, the first one was Lara Croft Tomb Raider, which was released June 15th, 2001. Oh, right. Doesn't this end with, like, the main character turning into a baby and floating out into space or something?
I'm pretty sure all movies from that year did.
Yeah, right. Caveman's Valentine did. That came out in 2001, so...
I forgot that was 2001.
So, Lara Croft Tomb Raider cost $115 million. It made $274.7 million.
Okay. So it made a little bit of money.
At the time of its release, it was the highest grossing video game movie. And also one of the most expensive, I'm pretty sure. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
One of the taglines was, "Who is Lara Croft?" What?
That's a pretty bad tagline.
Like, what? Like, are you trying to sound like Atlas Shrugged or something? What the fuck is this? Oh, God. It was directed by Simon West, which he is a familiar name on this podcast.
Yep.
Con Air. He did Con Air.
Yep.
Kind of makes sense, actually, and that's another...
It does.
It's another over-the-top action movie with terrible accents. Expendables 2, and his finest work, the music video for Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley.
Are you serious?
Yes. You forgot about that?
I did.
Oh, there you go.
That's
There's our Rick roll for the episode. But no, I'm being, for anybody listening to this, I am being serious. He did direct that. We did mention that in the Con Air episode, though, so I'm a little surprised you forgot.
No, that just, like, drifted out of my mind.
The cast. Actually, quite a few names here. Angelina Jolie, obviously.
Yep.
She was also in Hackers. Which is...
Is this the first time we've done a movie with her in it?
Yes, it is. Probably the last time, based on how this went, but who knows?
Are you telling me you don't want to do Shark Tale from 2004?
Oh god, that's a movie. Even as a kid, I didn't like that movie.
That's a weird one.
But yeah, Angelina Jolie, she was in Hackers. Very 90s. You know, we keep making that joke like, computers can do anything. Go watch Hackers. It's like that on steroids. She's in Cyborg 2.
Ooh.
So if we ever do Cyborg, we might end up doing Cyborg 2. So I guess that'd be one excuse to get her on the podcast again. She's not the main character in it, but I've thought about suggesting Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow for the podcast.
Yeah.
If you want something that's kind of like The Rocketeer, where it feels like an old film serial.
Yeah. Yeah. That could be an interesting one.
She's in Maleficent.
Oh, and the second Maleficent.
I forgot there was a second one. I barely even remember the first one, to be fair. She's in Kung Fu Panda. I always forget about that, actually.
Huh.
And Eternals. And nothing else of note. Fuck you. Daniel Craig, or Craig. Anyway.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, we've had him before in Casino Royale.
Yeah, obviously James Bond.
I've always been perplexed by his casting in this, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
And I mean, people know who fucking Daniel Craig is. We also got Ian Glenn, which he played Ser Jorah in Game of Thrones. He's the main villain in this. He's great in Game of Thrones, to be fair. Should know who this is. Jon Voight.
Yep.
I believe this is our first time having him.
Which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff. Midnight Cowboy, Catch-22, Deliverance. National Treasure, Deliverance, Zoolander, Holes. He's in Holes as a...
That's right.
Is he Mr. Sir?
I'm Mr. Sir.
He's in the first Transformers movie. Anaconda. If you want another... That'd be another good one for the pie. If you want another movie with just terrible accents, well, one in particular, then Anaconda would be a good one. And it has Ice Cube in it. That's got a weird cast, because it has Jennifer Lopez, Ice Cube, Jon Voight, and fucking Owen Wilson.
That is a bizarre cast.
Would you be interested in doing that at some point?
I think we have to write that one down just for the cast alone. Yeah.
It's on Netflix right now, so
okay.
I think it's leaving soon. So if we do end up doing that, or maybe it'll be the same fucking mistake that we made here. But another cast member for Game of Thrones, Noah Taylor.
Oh, real quick, one last thing to point out with Jon Voight. He is Angelina Jolie's dad.
Yes, which is fitting because of what happens in this movie, but we'll get to that. I was gonna say that for later, but yeah, might as well mention that. Noah Taylor, he's in Game of Thrones, as Locke. Richard Johnson, which, great name.
Amazing name.
He was in some James Bond, these kind of James Bond ripoffs. Technically, it was Bulldog Drummond, but they're basically James Bond ripoffs. One of which was called Deadlier Than the Male, and then the other one is Some Girls Do. And I mean, the posters, they look like fucking Bond movies. I mean... Oh, he's also in The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, apparently.
Oh.
I didn't realize that. That's a really fucked up movie.
Yeah.
Especially the ending. The music, I wasn't that surprised when I found this out. Graham Revell, who did the music for Street Fighter the movie, and for Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, so we've had his stuff on the podcast before. That makes sense. He also did the soundtrack for The Crow.
He did the soundtrack for The Crow. initial thoughts, and I'll let you start.
I think you should go first.
No, I'll let you start. I want you to start.
No, no, no. I think you should go first.
Okay, fine. So this is the first movie I watched the day after Christmas, and I'd seen it before. So I kind of just I knew what to expect. It's really dumb, really bad, but I will admit it does have entertaining parts, mainly just it's just so dumb and over the top, especially in like the action scenes. So there were parts where I was like laughing at it. The plot's confusing. The movie makes some very baffling casting choices. I'm like, what? Why? There's exposition that makes no sense, and the ending makes even less sense. Zero character development in this. If you're looking for like good story or investment characters, then no, you're not going to get it here.
This ain't it.
It's probably this isn't saying much. Honestly, I'd say this is one of the better video game movies we've done on the podcast. But I mean, look at the competition. It's pathetic. I mean, look at what else we fucking did. I will admit I did used to think this is one of like the best video game movies in general, but that was back when there were like literally no good ones.
Yeah, when the only competition would have been the Resident Evil movies.
Or like Mortal Kombat or the Mario movie.
Yeah.
So at least now we're starting to get ones that aren't like god awful and a few that are actually good. And there's some people they call this movie underrated, which no, it's not. It's pretty stupid. And also kind of forgettable weirdly. I've seen it like twice in full, and I honestly before looking at my notes I forgot a lot of what happened in this. Granted, the last time I watched it was a few weeks ago. So.
Yeah.
And I don't remember any lines from it or the characters or the plot really. I just remember like a few scenes. Glad I took notes. I guess if I was gonna compare this to like others, one way I could put this, I think it's worse than the first Crank movie,
Okay, fair.
but better than Crank High Voltage.
I think that yeah.
But it's also it's the only one of the Lara Croft movies I find somewhat entertaining. The other two are just kind of boring for me, to be honest. Like the other ones are just more generic, boring, and like not much happens in them. Whereas this one's at least kind of like random and ridiculous during some parts. So I like laughed at some of it. So there's that. You can go.
Okay. Okay.
I'll have more to
Um
say when we actually get into the actual fucking things. There's a lot to talk about with it. It's just a anyway. Okay.
So this is the first time that I've ever seen it, and I've never really played many of the Tomb Raider games, but I've seen things about it. I kind of know what the series is like. So I didn't entirely know what to expect going in. I'd say like for the first half hour, I was kind of enjoying it. Like I was having fun with a lot of the stupid action scenes. I was like, this is over the top, but like kind of enjoyable. It's kind of like a bad Indiana Jones movie.
It is, yeah,
Almost.
very much
Um,
in that vein.
yeah. And then the movie just kept going on longer and longer and longer and longer. Um, it hit the point where I had a reaction to this movie that I've only had with two other movies, and that's A Cure for Wellness and Joker 2. Where by the time I hit the end of the movie, I was like mad that I had watched this. Because it just keeps delving further and further and further into nonsense. Like you can see the plot at the beginning of the movie, but then it feels like as you go along, it just dissolves into pure madness. It's so hard to keep track of what's going on. Why are things happening? Changing scenes feels like just pure chaos. And at one point in my notes, I wrote down, how are there still 50 minutes left? Please let this end. Further on, I wrote, I'm going to stop taking notes. I hate this so much. And then I kept taking notes. Um, it, it, the best way I can describe what it felt like watching this is like, we've had movies where they take out pretty pivotal scenes. Like, just as an example, I'm going to use Event Horizon. Like, Event Horizon, they cut out very important scenes that kind of, like, made it a little harder to understand the movie. It felt like they did that to this, but it wasn't that they were cutting out the scene. It felt like they just, like, trimmed off, like, half of each scene. So the scenes are going by really fast with no real reason. It's so just confusing and hard to follow.
Yeah.
It's just pure madness.
I did, when we get into this, I did also have trouble following what little there was of a plot in this. Yeah. And it's interesting, is like our opinions on this did differ quite a well, I guess not that much. We both of us didn't think it was that great.
Yeah, both of us didn't like it, but I don't think you have the spite for this movie that I have.
Before watching it again, I thought this was like a hilariously bad movie, and there's parts of it that are, but like watching it again, I was going, it's not quite as funny as I remembered it being. But I didn't have that visceral reaction you did, so I guess lucky for you, I'm not a big enough Angelina Jolie fan to defend the movie that much. So. Um, I feel like this is just going to turn into me apologizing to you this whole podcast. I don't remember what the scene was. I think there was one scene where I was like, you know what, Nick might end up hating this. But I don't remember what scene it was. I think it was just because of the, like, just how many exposition scenes there were, and I literally just couldn't follow anything.
It's
happening.
so bad because there's a lot of exposition scenes, but they don't explain anything.
And then you said, when we were talking last week, you said you hated it. And then I thought about it for a bit, and I was like, okay, I think I know why. I think I know why. Honestly, I thought you'd end up hating the other one, but, we'll get to that. And actually, how you felt about this movie, this is actually how I felt. This is how I thought you would feel about Superman 3 when we did Superman 3.
Oh, yeah?
I thought you were going to end up hating it, like, when we did, but apparently not. And, like, I guess I shouldn't be that show. Like, I mean, you hate Batman Forever way more than I do, so...
That's true.
And another thing, if this makes you feel better, there is a movie I watched recently that I hated even more than you hated this one. So
yeah, which one?
Star Trek Section 31.
Okay.
I hate this. The worst Star Trek movie by a country mile.
That's pretty bad.
Even worse than the fifth one, the one, or like some of the next gen movies. It might even be the worst Star Trek thing out there, although I haven't seen...
Oh, that's bad.
I haven't seen, like, every single Star Trek show, though, to be fair. But, yeah.
Have you watched The Lower Decks?
No, I haven't seen that one. Most of the newer ones I haven't seen. I've seen the original series, the Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, and, like, the animated one from the 70s. I think that's it. I haven't seen any of the other Star Trek shows, so... Yeah, that was I'm glad you got me that Star Trek DVD because it's like after watching
Yeah.
Section 31, I was like, I need some good Star Trek to
You need
watch.
good Trek, yeah.
So I'm like, of course, and of course, the first one I'm watching is City on the Edge of Forever, which is considered one of the best Star Trek episodes. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Do you remember the 2018 Lara Croft movie at all? I don't,
Uh,
honestly.
a little bit. I just remember that it's like in a jungle for the most part, and it's more of like it's more of like a what am I looking for? Kind of like an origin story for Lara Croft, if I remember correctly.
Okay. I just remember being really
Whereas,
boring, mostly.
yeah, yeah.
Alicia Vikander, I thought was miscast. The only part I can really remember is like Nick Frost had a cameo towards the beginning. What a
Huh.
waste of Nick Frost. Um, are we gonna do a podcast on that one as well, or like?
I don't know. Maybe whenever the next Mortal Kombat movie comes out, we pair it with that. I feel like they have very similar energies.
And I think there was like a TV show or something.
Oh yeah, there was like an animated show
I didn't
recently
see
too on
it, but
Netflix.
anyway. Okay, so I was gonna ask. I haven't played video games much recently, unless you count the Lana Del Rey song. Are the games, the Lara Croft games, are they anything like the movies?
So I'm not a Tomb Raider expert, but from what I've seen,
You know more than I do, probably, but so I just figured
yeah,
I'd ask at least.
uh, from what I've seen, it's like kind of accurate. Like there's definitely magic. I think it's like the fourth game of the series. She's like directly fighting one of the Egyptian gods. Um, and they do go to some kind of exotic locations. Like they go to Angkor, they go to Siberia, trekking around quite a bit there. And she does have the giant mansion that she has in the video game, so I'd say all of that's pretty, I'd say it's decently accurate from what I've seen.
Yeah. Okay. And you're just talking about these two movies, right?
Yes, yes.
Are they as insane as parts of this movie are, or
I think that would be hard to do. I think the story is put a little bit together better in the games than it is in these.
speaking of which, the plot, I kind of didn't
Okay.
try. I kind of didn't try here, but basically,
All right, you want.
what I could decipher, they're trying to find this device that has to do with planetary alignment. It's these two halves of the triangle of light. I think it's made up.
Yep, it's a made up artifact.
Honestly, I'm just waiting for a movie where the MacGuffin is literally just called MacGuffin. Oh, we have to find MacGuffin's toolbox or something stupid like. I mean, they called the mineral in Avatar unobtainium. I mean, would it be any more ridiculous? I'm not entirely sure what the rules of the Triangle of Light are, and honestly, until looking at my notes, I forgot what it was called.
The rules are really specific for that thing. It's like
But basically, they're just trying to get this stupid thing. Anyway, whatever. I didn't do a very good job following the plots of these, so
yeah, my basic recap of it is Lara Croft and the Illuminati are racing to gather the pieces of the Triangle of Life, which, if it's put together in a specific place on a solar eclipse during the planetary alignments, will allow them to control time, but only for as long as the solar eclipse lasts.
it's too complicated and specific. I just couldn't follow what was happening in this. It's like, in like the pit in those pitch meeting videos
Yeah.
when he says actually it's going to be super easy, barely an inconvenience. That's kind of what that's like kind of everything that happens in this movie.
Yeah.
Okay. some of the critical reception for this. Obviously, this is not a well-regarded movie, but one person that did like it was Roger Ebert.
Really?
He gave it 3 out of 4 stars,
Wow.
saying it elevated goofiness to an art form. I guess. Leonard Maltin he did not have, well, okay, try and guess what he gave it.
He had to give it a bomb, right? There's like, no, I changed my mind. I'm gonna say he gave it 1.5.
1.5. He gave it 1.5. He said, perhaps the dullest action adventure film ever made, says the guy who liked Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Flat writing and performances, save for Jolie, and lifeless direction, sparked now and then by some flashy set pieces. To quote a character in the film itself, enough of this twaddle. I don't remember which character said that, but anyway,
It's probably a member of the Illuminati.
probably. Okay, how the fuck are we gonna talk about this? I guess, can we just start off with the fact that the very opening of this movie, we already get an over-the-top action scene?
Oh, yeah. So one of the first things that I wrote down for this is it feels like one of the Paul W.S. Anderson Resident Evil movies.
Kind of, yeah. But basically, the opening, it's this part where, I'll admit this part is pretty entertaining, where Lara Croft is fighting this weird robot that has razor blades for hands. And it's doing flips and stuff. It's ridiculous. I mean, you gotta give the movie this. It starts off with a bang.
It does. She's in the middle of an Egyptian tomb, which is revealed to actually be her mansion.
The music during this scene, too, oh my lord. Like, you know what it sounded like? It sounded like, do you remember those piracy, it's a crime commercials? It sounds like the music from that.
That's 100% what it sounds like.
It's just this really bad early 2000s techno. Oh my god. That might be another reason why I didn't enjoy this as much on this watch. It's like it was just reminding me of how bad a lot of early 2000s action movies are.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've tried watching like an action movie from the early 2000s or like a horror movie. Oh my god. Like, and just watching it and being like, wow, this is awful. Because like the music, the way it's shot and stuff. The editing in this is terrible.
Oh, it's just abysmal. There's a couple cuts throughout the movie where they do like a really quick fade to black and then fade back in.
I honestly, if this movie had been made in like the 80s, it could have been amazing. But like,
yeah,
the early 2000s, just no. But yeah, she like reprograms the robot to play a rap song, and then it turns out it was just a training scene.
Well, you can't forget that she's apparently stronger than this robot. She starts, like, lifting it up and just, like, breaks into it.
Right, yeah, and then it turns out it was just a training session, and the guy that programmed it, he's, like, mad at her for using live rounds. Oh my god. And then that's done.
That's a good way to describe how a lot of scenes in this movie end.
Yeah, you get your gratuitous.
That scene's done.
The next, what I wrote next was we get a gratuitous PG-13 shower scene because
yeah, it's a requirement for a movie from 2001.
It's Lara Croft. What else are you gonna do? So the main villain in this is Ser Jorah from Game of Thrones, and you know what? Okay, to his credit, he actually gives a pretty good performance in this.
Yeah, that's fair.
The what he has to work with is not good, but the fact he's able to do all this with a straight face, I mean, we're just saying something, because his character in this is apparently the leader of the Illuminati. They just straight up made the Illuminati the main villains
The
in
main
this.
villain.
It's like, this isn't Indiana Jones, this is fucking Dan Brown now.
I wrote down this part. Is this a Spectre meeting? Are Spectre the bad guys?
Yeah, they did kind of look like that, yeah. And he claims to be a lawyer that studies clocks. It's like, what? And his hair, it looks like they're trying to make his hair look like Richard Burton or something. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Oh my god. My notes in this are going to be so disjointed, by the way. To be fair, the movie is as well, so...
Yeah, no. Because the movie suffers from being both, fast-paced,
and choppy.
with not a lot holding it together. Yeah, fast-paced but choppy.
It's very choppy. It's edited like an early 2000s music video or something. It's just...
Honestly, it's edited like a cutscene in like a 90s video game where you only had like a minute long to get everything in.
I guess, yeah, Lara Croft was a 90s video game, right?
Yeah.
So I guess that's fitting. There's this one guy that says sand gets everywhere, which you
Yeah, I wrote that down.
you can probably guess what that made me think of.
Yeah.
It's coarse and rough and irritating. Gets everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Her dad is played by Jon Voight, who, like we mentioned earlier, is Angelina Jolie's actual dad. He has a mustache in this, which does not fit him.
No.
Now, I've seen movies of Jon Voight having a mustache. His mustache in Deliverance looked a lot better.
I mean, to be fair, he's only in this movie for like, what, 3 minutes total?
Yeah, not that long. He has and it's mostly just I don't know what the hell was it, flashbacks or just she's imagining him. I don't know. It was weird.
It's mostly flashbacks, but there is like one part at the end where she maybe goes into the afterlife to talk about him. It's weird.
The guy that lives in a... Okay, so this guy lives with Lara Croft in a trailer. Like, he lives in a trailer, yeah. But she lives in a mansion. And the trailer is at... What? I don't get that. He just has this trailer with a bunch of robots in it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And there's one line he says, sorry. Lara Croft asks him this. She says, "We have 83 rooms. Why can't you live in the house?" Which is a good point.
Yeah, no, it's a very good question.
But apparently he's a free spirit. They find a clock, which starts ticking during the alignment. Okay, the other thing, this is the main thing I want to talk about this movie that I find just baffling. Well, one of them. So, Angelina Jolie is in this, playing a British archaeologist. And Daniel Craig is in this, playing an American archaeologist. Why the fuck did they trade accents in this movie? What is going on?
And Angelina Jolie's British accent,
it's bad.
It's not the worst British accent I've ever heard.
It's not convincing at all, though.
Yeah.
But Daniel Craig's
American accent, oh my god, is that bad?
And this is before he was doing the Knives Out movies, too. I first saw this before those movies came out, so I just remember finding it so fucking funny that, you got James Bond trying to do an American accent. I mean, oh my god.
Yeah.
And it just sounds really goddamn ridiculous. Especially whenever he's shouting orders at people or shouting, that's when it sounds the worst. It's
I wrote down like I don't know what type of accent he's trying to do. Because sometimes it sounds Midwestern, sometimes it sounds like he's from New York, sometimes it sounds like he's from Boston, sometimes he just starts speaking with like a British accent again. It is all over the place.
I know, yeah. Like, there's a scene where he's talking to Lara Croft. The part when he's naked, like, I think his British accent was slipping out during that scene a bit.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's so bad. But like, especially back then, it was ridiculous too, because this is years before he was doing the weird Southern accent in those Knives Out movies.
Yeah.
So like he used to just do his. Then it seems like nowadays all he does is bad American accents. So like, it's like weird, how the turntables. My God. She goes to meet a British guy who does a bunch of exposition. The guy, oh, the guy that
Yep.
plays him, did the voice of the Sorting Hat from the Harry Potter movies. He's in this apparently.
Oh, really?
She does bungee jump training in the mansion, and it looks like something out of
Yeah,
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or one of the Matrix movies.
yeah, she's just like practicing her backflips in the middle of her like foyer, I guess.
I'll admit these are probably the most entertaining parts of the movie. Just
Yeah.
her these weird scenes of her in the mansion. I was like, what the
You could have
fuck?
made the whole movie about just that mansion and it would have been
Yeah.
entertaining.
And she's dressed in like a martial arts outfit or something. And then out of nowhere, okay, that wasn't bizarre, just ridiculous enough. A SWAT team just breaks into her mansion and just starts attacking her with machine guns. What is going on? Like, I think this is the first point of the movie.
Sense.
I think this is the first point of the movie where I was like, what on earth is going on?
Because I like wrote down like, are these guys like robbers, military? And then I was like, no, they really are just Spectre. The Illuminati is just Spectre in this movie.
It looked like a SWAT team in this, or in that scene at least.
Yeah.
And she's like swinging around, fighting them. It's pretty absurd. One of them is swinging on a rope while firing a machine gun. Like, it's so stupid.
It's just ridiculous.
That is the one that if I'm gonna give this movie any kind of like points for anything, if you want dumb action scenes, this does have a lot of that in it.
Yeah, it does.
The plot is fucking awful, but like, I mean, barely even existent, in fact. And then there's this ridiculous motorcycle chase where they're shooting machine guns. A car crashes upside down on another car. At that point in the notes, I wrote, what the fuck? Like, that scene felt, you know what that scene felt like? It felt like a scene from, like, a Hong Kong action movie.
It kind of did.
Like a John
just
Woo
not a
movie.
good one. Yeah.
A John Woo movie. It kind of felt like something from a John Woo movie. It was just so absurd. And we mentioned this earlier. Angelina Jolie, just awful British accent.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, she does look like Lara Croft. That's the only reason she got the part.
Yeah. I feel like they got the look and they got like a lot of her movements right. Like all of like the ridiculous backflips and things. That's stuff that she does in the game. So like that's at least accurate.
My next note I had was she's good in the action scenes. Like, she's great when she's not talking, was my next note.
Yeah.
Basically. Because then when she talks, she has that just
fake British accent.
Very bad British accent. But again, not as bad as Daniel Craig doing that atrocious American accent in this. She finds a paper with a William Blake poem written on it, and then goes and finds the book. There's a lot of, like, I guess, Illuminati. A lot of all-seeing eye imagery in this. And then the fact John Voight is in this. It's making me think of National Treasure.
Yeah.
Oh wait, just I had another during this scene. I had another moment of like realization that like wait. So John Voight's playing her dad in this. Does that mean we're supposed to believe John Voight is British in this?
Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah.
And there are some parts where it sounds like he's trying to imitate Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's just so many baffling choices with this movie. The landscape shots in this, again, some really dated CGI. Oh, this part, I lost it during this part when they're like parachuting in some jeeps, and she's in the driver's seat of the jeep. I was like laughing so hard when it got to that scene.
Yeah. Uh, I do like how once all the carnage is over, she just leaves. She's like, I'm on my way to go find an artifact. Have fun cleaning everything up for me.
And then you get another thing I forgot to mention. Daniel Craig's character in this is named Alex West.
Yep.
When I originally wrote, I almost wrote Adam West when I was writing my notes.
Did you catch the title drop?
Yeah, I think I did. It's when they're in the jungle, right?
Yep, and Ian Glenn turns to Daniel Craig and goes, 15 minutes, Mr. West. You're the Tomb Raider, so figure it out.
Right, yeah. And you got Angelina Jolie driving her Jeep through the jungle, and like, I will give them this, they shot on location during
Yeah,
parts of
yeah.
this. There's that. And the set of like the temple ruins looks pretty good. I'll give them that too.
Yeah.
I was thinking though, what would be funny to do is if they remade this with Harrison Ford as Daniel Craig's character,
That would be pretty funny.
and had Harrison Ford do a bad British accent.
just to make sure it's consistent with Daniel Craig's American accent, he has to sometimes slip into Scottish and Irish accents along the way.
Right, right. Oh yeah, he could do his Scottish accent that he did in Last Crusade. How dare he? We're here to see the tapestries.
Get to see the tapestries.
So bad. Lara Croft has a skull on her belt buckle. Wait, is she one of the baddies? Oh, another line I wrote down. This is a weird line where Sir Jorah, Ian Glenn's character from Game of Thrones, Ian Glenn says, "Into the belly of the beast," and then Daniel Craig says, "And out of the demon's
Out
ass."
of the demon's ass.
What kind of line is that?
It just doesn't make sense. I wrote down thanks Bond, very cool.
That's the thing. Bond isn't very cool in this movie. Like, because on top of his bad accent, he doesn't really do much.
He doesn't do much. His lines are all bad. It's like he has very little to work with.
Okay, granted, he didn't play James Bond yet, but like, it's such a missed opportunity not having Daniel Craig do anything cool during the action scenes.
Yeah.
So like, why is he even there? Like, if he's not gonna talk like Daniel Craig or do anything like Daniel Craig, what the fuck is even the point? Okay, this next part, I did not know how to write it down.
Okay, yeah, no. So this is the part of the movie where I started to get lost. Because
I don't know how the fuck to write. I didn't know how to write this down because, like, they're in this temple. There's like a Buddha statue in there. Okay, here, this part. they find this device to make a battering ram, and it like pokes holes in the Buddha statue's belly, which is a tank. And Lara Croft rides on the battering ram. What the fuck? Like, I was confused during this part. I didn't know how to describe it or how to. Anyway, sorry.
So there's this really complicated locking mechanism they have to do to bring this battering ram out. But then it just doesn't have enough momentum, so she has to jump on it to push it farther. When the whole time, the whole solution was just they had to break open the Buddha's belly. It's so complicated for the solution to just be break that open. And then she does, and then like the Prometheus black goo comes out, and one of the triangle's pieces starts like floating there.
Yeah, that's. Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
They grab the triangle, and then all the statues just come to life and start killing people.
Okay, that part made me laugh. Okay, this part made me laugh. Where the stone ape statues just come to life, and they're like tagging everyone. I feel like every other minute of this movie, I was just writing my notes or just. Well, there were several parts of this movie where I said out loud, "What the fuck?" Like, because it was just.
I mean, my notes at this point were, "What's going on? Why is there liquid metal with a floating triangle? Why is everyone scared? What do they know that I don't? Why are the statues alive?"
That scene, you know what that scene felt like? That felt like a scene from like one of the Mummy movies, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
Although I think the first Mummy, I think I'd rather watch than this movie, so obvious. Yeah, the boot. Oh god! And then this next part, the Buddha statue comes to life and it has multiple arms. Just when you thought it could get more absurd, she's just like firing two guns at it at the same time.
Yeah, I legit thought the solution was just going to be to shoot the Buddha statue.
You know, I take it back. This is the best movie we've done on the podcast. Over this fucking scene. The statue is like grabbing some giant swords and they float towards it like it's using the force. And she's using the battering ram. What the hell? Then she gets chased by another statue, and that felt like Temple Run, which, if you remember that game.
Yeah, because it's like a weird kind of like dog statue thing.
Which that game I have actually played, Temple Run. It was a long time ago, though. I feel like after that scene, it kind of just lost steam, because how the fuck do you top that? That should have been the climax. That whole scene should have been the climax. Like, you don't put that in the middle of the movie.
And, like, it feels like this is the part where the plot just sort of diffuses. Like, all of a sudden, things just stop making sense.
That's what happened, is they ran out of plot, so they're like, well, we need more scenes. How do we string this together? Oh, you're forgetting the most important part. There's this part where Daniel Craig corners her at a waterfall. She says, I didn't kill my wife, and Daniel Craig says, I don't care.
I don't care.
And of course she jumps down. It is just that scene though, where like you know,
yeah.
Except without the whole wife murder thing. Like and then the next scene, she goes and meets some monks, and it drinks water. I don't know what she drinks. She drinks some stuff that heals her wound. She drinks
like tea that like heals her. Somehow the monk she's talking to knew her father. That's never explained or touched on again.
I was lost during that scene. I was like, what? Why? I don't get this. Oh, and another funny detail. The actor, the bad guy in this, he wants to be on a throne.
Yeah.
And the actor, Ian Glenn, he's later in Game of Thrones. So that was kind of... that's kind of funny in hindsight. And he keeps offering Lara Croft a chance to join him, which, why?
Yeah. And also, just to reiterate, just how disjointed this movie feels. So they all escape the living statues. Laura goes to a temple where she finds a monk that somehow knew her father, drinks tea that magically heals her, then goes to Venice to go visit the Illuminati headquarters,
I forgot she goes to
and then
Venice.
just like leaves to go to Siberia after that.
She goes to so many locations that I lost track of where
It
she
gets so
was.
confusing because it's so disjointed. She just like appears places.
But I will give, you know what, that is one thing I will give the movie, though. There is a lot of globe trotting.
That is true.
Making a big adventure movie, might as well. Especially one that costs $100 million. I can see where the money went, at least. You know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies we've done where I'm like, where the hell did the money go? At least in this one, I'm like, there's money there, but why did you put it all on this shit?
Why'd you spend it on this script?
And another thing I wrote was, aside from the exposition, it does move pretty fast. I like paused at one point to go get my computer charger, and I was surprised that it had been an hour already.
I think this was around the point where I said, "There's 50 minutes left. I can't take it anymore."
Okay, so we were having slightly different experiences then. It was a bit much for you, is what you were saying.
Yes.
It was very, very hard to take notes on this, I will say that. Like, I kind of gave up at some point with, like, trying to write down the plot points, because what's even the point? They clearly didn't put any thought into that. We get Daniel Craig showering, so again,
That feels like James Bond. Well, because he's showering and he has a gun.
he's not fully clothed with Eva Green, though, in this one. Anyway.
True.
But yeah, the part with him wandering around naked with a gun, that was like the most he felt like James Bond in this.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, it's like a glimpse of a better movie for a few seconds.
And unfortunately, that's like the most badass he gets in this movie, because he really doesn't do much.
Yeah.
But I mean, then again, nobody knew who Daniel Craig was at the time. I mean, this is like pre-Casino Royale. This is even before like Road to Perdition or like Layer Cake. Like really, what would people have known him from? Like a kid in King Arthur's court, I guess. Anybody even remembers that movie? I mean, I do, but I shouldn't. We watched it in school once when I was really young. Why? I don't know. Kate Winslet's in that movie too, actually, which is funny.
Huh.
Before either of these two were famous, they're in this fucking movie. We get this really overblown music with helicopters flying, and then when they get out of the helicopter, it's still playing. What was with the music in this? It was just so bad.
I have no idea. It's just really just loud early 2000s techno music that just did not fit with anything that was going on.
So over the top. Yeah, they end up in Siberia, and they're on bobsleds with dogs pulling them.
Hold on. Siberia. This is where I actually lost my mind. Because she's like decided she's gonna partner with the Illuminati to finish this for whatever reason. If she wanted to stop the Illuminati, all she had to do was either hide that first triangle or just destroy it. Like, there was no reason for her to go with the Illuminati.
Okay, that's another thing about this movie we haven't mentioned yet. I don't think... Do any of the characters in this get clear motivations?
No. Because, for some reason, the Illuminati wants to get this triangle to control time. It's never really stated why.
I didn't understand why anybody was doing anything in this movie, aside from, we need a movie to happen, let's move it.
Yeah, no, like, Laura has, like, absolutely no motivation to doing anything.
Barely a personality, either.
Because, like, I guess she wants to stop the Illuminati, but again, if she has that first half of the triangle just take that and go. You don't need to worry about anything else. Just make sure that the bad guys, just make sure that the Illuminati doesn't get it.
It's yeah. And they're like on bobsleds with dogs pulling them. Which made me think of Balto, because I mean, or I
Yeah.
guess there's that scene in Superman 2 where Lex Luthor has a bobsled team, I guess. They ring a large bell and an angel gets its wings. Oh wait, wrong movie. But they do ring a large bell in this movie.
Yep.
They find a time storm. What was that?
Okay, yeah. So real quick, we need to back up just a couple moments. So they land in Siberia.
You can tell this is the point where I kind of was barely taking notes because I could not follow anything.
So this is really where I started to lose my mind. They land at this Siberian village. Laura's just talking to this child who looks up at her and goes, "Your dad wouldn't want you out here. You're going to like destroy the world." And it's like, oh, how does this child know Lara Croft's dad? Why does everybody know her dad?
Was that the kid that? Wait. Oh shit! Or was that in the second movie? Which one's the one where she's in the jungle and she imagines a kid talking to her?
I think that would be I think that'd be the second movie. That was not this one.
Never mind. Because I was like, wait, is it that kid? Maybe I don't remember.
No. This is a kid, as just some random Siberian kid that somehow like knew about her and her father.
Somewhere out there exists like a what the hell do you call those? Like a rough cut, like a
Yeah.
shit. What do you call those?
Uh.
Oh fuck! Why am I blanking on this? Work print.
Okay.
Somewhere out there's probably like a work print of this movie that has like a few scenes added in where you're like, okay, now the plot at least like kind of makes sense.
Yeah, you can at least understand what's happening.
Apparently they cut all that. It's like with that 89 Punisher movie. They just cut out like any scenes of like character motivations or like plot, and you're just like action. That's what this movie's kind of like.
That's all you need for a movie is just action scenes.
Yeah, so there's like a time storm. A dog leaps through it.
And he just gets like vaporized and comes back. I wrote down, oh, where did it go? Why did the dog get vaporized and then we reappear? What is happening?
At that point in my notes, I wrote, I don't even know what's going on. There's a big sphere thing, and Lara Croft climbs on top of it. A guy gets crushed by gears. Yeah, I was lost.
Yeah, and then she ends up putting the triangle into the... Yeah.
If you want, I can go off on another tangent about I Know What You Did Last Summer. Or Scream. I was watching those recently. Okay.
And so this is where things really just like kind of implode for the movie, because to just summarize what happens real quick at the end of the movie in case you forgot.
This ending was like, I mean, this is one of the most nonsensical endings we've had for a movie since like Star Crash.
Yeah.
But not as funny though. It was so confusing. I didn't know what was going on.
So what ended up happening is Laura makes it to the middle of these spheres, puts the triangle in, comes out. I guess it activated the triangle. Daniel Craig dies because he's killed by the Illuminati. And then both Laura and the Illuminati guy touch the triangle, and they end up in this floating pyramid in the middle of a void that honestly looks like Lawnmower Man's cyberspace. They run to the middle, grab the triangle again. Laura has time powers. So she just rewinds time long enough to rescue Daniel Craig, kill the bad guy, and then she no longer has time
There's like a knife
powers?
stopped in the air, and she like moves it around so that it gets Ser Jorah instead.
Yeah.
Oh, and all that kind of felt like the Matrix, actually. Now that I think about it,
Yeah.
is that why this movie feels so weird? It's like it was trying to do the whole like Matrix editing and stuff.
I think so. It kind of had an identity crisis, and it's like it didn't know what it wanted to be, so it decided to be the Matrix.
I guess, yeah. Oh, and also that's where Ser Jorah reveals he killed Lara's father.
Yeah.
Because we need to make him just extra evil here.
Just in case you didn't think he was really the bad guy.
And Daniel Craig, in his god awful American accent, is like shouting, "Don't, Laura! The whole place is coming down. This is insane!" And that's like one of the worst line deliveries he gets in this whole thing. It's so bad. And then she has a fight with Ser Jorah. The temple blows up. There's like slow motion running because, of course, yeah, just.
Yeah, of course.
So when she was talking to John Voight, was that like her going back in time to talk to him?
I guess, but like her dad knew why she was there. So like I don't know if it was she just time traveled to go talk to him, or if like she just went to the afterlife while she was in the pyramid void thing. I don't know what happened.
There are a lot of things that just do not make sense about this. She is, oh yeah, in the next scene, she's like, okay, this part. I'll admit I got a good laugh out of this part where she escapes with the dog sled team while there's an avalanche.
Yeah.
Just because of how it's so over the top. I mean, it's that's why I can't hate this movie because like it has like it's not good, but it has like a few scenes like that where I was just kind of cackling at how dumb it was.
I feel like this movie just kind of melted my brain a little bit, especially by the end because it just got so nonsensical.
It is a bit of an onslaught.
Especially like once they touch the triangle and they end up in that weird like void space.
That whole
And
ending
it's
is
just like
so bad,
yeah.
so stupid. And she gets back to she gets back to the mansion and she's about to fight the robot again, but it freeze frames on her like holding two guns. Okay, did you have any
No, I want to be done talking about Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
okay, overall thoughts? It's bad, but again, I did find parts of it funny just because of how stupid it was. I mean, if all you want is just cheesy action, then it definitely delivers on that. Just don't even bother to try to follow the plot if it isn't obvious.
Yeah, you will not be able to.
Basically, it's a movie I like watch. I laugh at some of the dumb parts, and then I just kind of move on. It's like a Fast and Furious movie, basically. I wouldn't buy it on DVD.
No.
Well, actually, if it had a commentary on it, maybe.
Just so you could try and piece together what the director was thinking.
Mainly because I want to know why the hell they decided to have Angelina Jolie and Daniel Craig just trade accents for the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because why? I mean, so yeah, I guess we both thought it was bad, but I guess we disagreed a little bit on the
on just how bad it was.
maybe not that much. I mean, I'll meet you halfway on this one. There's better, like, funny bad movies than this one.
Yeah.
For sure. You know, it's Chris Stuckman's favorite bad movie, not mine.
Yeah.
Of what we've done on the podcast, I mean, it's no Star Crash. I mean, It's no The Happening. It's no...
Yeah, Crank High Voltage.
Did you say Crank High Voltage?
Yes.
I would not, but God. I had a lot more fun watching this than Crank High Voltage. Crank High Voltage, I felt just disgusted and offended after watching it. The first Crank movie, though, that would be a good, better as like an example of so bad it's good. Quantum Quest, Cassine Space Odyssey. I mean, you know, it's basically going in. I remembered this being a lot funnier than it was, and yeah, it does have some funny parts, but I mean, this isn't The Room. You know, it's not like that. Or that War of the Worlds movie with Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Because part of the problem is it doesn't really have any like memorable lines like a proper so bad it's good movie has.
It's just kind of a mess.
It's kind of funny, but it's not that funny. I mean, and looking back after thinking about it and talking to you a week ago, you said you hated it. I was like thinking about it and going, you know what? Some of my laughs might have been forced. I think the only way I'd watch this in full again, because I might YouTube like a few clips from it.
Yeah.
The only way I'd watch it in full again is if I was showing it. I have this friend who he really likes the Lara Croft games.
Yeah. So
at the least, I should see if he's seen any of them, just because it might be funny to get his reaction. It's the same guy. The same guy I showed the live action Mario movie to, which he was
okay.
He was not impressed with that movie.
Yeah.
I was a bit shocked though that your reaction was
so vitriolic,
that extreme. Although talking about it during the podcast, it didn't. I don't know. It didn't seem as vitriolic.
I think it gave me some time to calm down.
Oh, that might, yeah. But like your reaction to this, it was like it was making me think back to your reactions to Supergirl and like Turks in Space. I mean, you finished this one. You didn't finish Turks in Space, so
that's true. I did manage to make it to the end of this one and the sequel.
Because honestly, I thought this was one of the more enjoyable video game movies we did on the podcast. But again, like, look at the competition. Like,
yeah. I will say, it's not the worst thing we've done. I just hated it.
Okay. And also, you should take my opinion with a grain of salt. I don't know jack shit about the games. And Jack left town, so... But I did feel genuinely bad that this one was, like, really painful for you to watch. Like, I'm so sorry about that.
Alright, with that, do we want to...
Yeah, now let's get to the part of the podcast where I got upset. So... Yeah. To quote Bertong from Lethal Weapon, looks like we both been fucked. So Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life. That's way too long of a title.
With too many subtitles.
They should have just called it Tomb Raider, Cradle of Life, or Lara Croft, Cradle of Life. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
This was released in July 2003. It cost $95 million and made $160 million, so it cost less and made less than the first.
Yeah.
It was directed by John DeBont, who did the Speed movies.
Oh. He also did Twister.
Oh, right, Twister. The cast. Angelina Jolie came back. As did Noah Taylor, he came back. Got a few new cast members, though. We have Gerard Butler.
Yep.
Who, he's in another one of your favorites, 300.
Yeah. Let's go, Zack Snyder.
To be fair though, to 300, his overacting is probably the most enjoyable thing about it.
Yeah.
He gets a few like hammy lines that are funny. He's also in Coriolanus and Olympus Has Fallen. And this. I forgot he was in this, honestly.
Yeah.
We got Kyron Hines. I think that's how his name's pronounced. He played Dumbledore's brother in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Really?
Steppenwolf in Justice League. He's in There Will Be Blood. So he was in at least one good movie then in that case. Because I was like looking at his filmography and it was kind of crazy how many movies I'd seen him in, and I was like, wow, and how few of them were any good. Played Rochester in a 1997 Jane Eyre movie, which his performance is like really over the top in it. He's even more miscast in the part than Orson Welles was in the 1943 version. The music, okay. Alan Silvestri, I mean, that's a step up.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we just had him with Predator.
And Predator 2.
Yeah.
And he also did the music for the live action Mario movie.
Yeah.
And The Abyss. So, yeah, music. Initial thoughts. I guess I'll start with this one again. Or did you want to?
Yeah, I can start on this one. So, coming off of the last movie, I was a little afraid to watch this one.
Yeah, you should be.
Because I was like, I hated that first one so much. Like, I'm a little afraid to see what this one's going to be like. And I didn't like this movie. Obviously, it's pretty bad, but it didn't spark rage within me. It just felt more like a bad kind of very stereotypical action film. And so like I didn't really enjoy it. There was a couple parts that I laughed at, but it's just kind of generically bad. The plot again doesn't make much sense.
I know
it's a very just like
I know which parts you laughed at.
Yeah. You probably know what scene I laughed the hardest at too.
Yeah, I think I do. Did you have anything else to say, or like?
That's really it.
Fair. There's not a lot. I'm not gonna have as much to say about this one anyway. So
neither will I.
My initial thoughts. So I went into this one with pretty low expectations because I remember this one being pretty bad and not in a fun way. So the only parts I could remember were the part with the shark and the part where there's like a motorcycle chase on the Great Wall of China. And now I can see why, because this was really generic and honestly very boring. It was boring as
I think that's a good word for this one, boring.
Pretty forgettable action scenes. It tries to have a plot and characters and fails at it. Yeah, which to quote Yoda, do or do not, there is no try. I guess it is shot well and some of the acting was okay, but basically what this movie was like, I was just sitting there waiting for something to happen, and I was pretty let down.
Yeah.
Because you could say what you want about the first one, but at least with the first one, there's like a bunch of insane shit happening in it. This one is just like, you might as well just stare at the wall.
Yeah.
And this is another movie I watched while doing laundry, and I was more invested in that than in the movie. So, hell, the movie I watched before this, it wasn't a good movie either. It was Butterfield 8, not one of Elizabeth Taylor's
Oh,
better movies, and even that's better than this. But yeah, if you can't tell, I didn't like this movie. I felt like I'd wasted my time, and I thought this was gonna be the one that would make you go "fuck you," but apparently that wasn't the case. So anyway,
yeah, no, it was the first one. I will say, I find this one incredibly forgettable.
yeah, very.
I barely remember this one at all.
Um, I mainly just okay. I remember those two scenes I already mentioned, and I remember just a lot of walking and talking.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of
It's
that.
like the exact opposite of the first one. The first one, there's like too much happening. This one, it's like just like
There's too little. They should have spread it out more evenly among the two movies.
this is like if that Gus Van Sant movie Jerry was an action movie. That's what this is like. It's just people walking. But anyway, let's see. Did our two friends think highly of this? What do you want? I guess Leonard Maltin gave this first.
He had to give that a bomb. There's no way he liked it more than the first movie.
He gave it 1.5 again.
Okay.
Same rating. He said astonishingly inept and interminable sequel. Gives new meaning to the word boring. Yeah, he's right about that.
Yeah.
Game over. Then again, he also called the first one boring, which I'm like, that's a weird way to describe it. I couldn't find his review for the 2018 one, so fuck it. And
Yeah.
unbelievably, Roger Ebert also gave this one 3 out of 4 stars.
He just really likes these movies, huh?
He thought it was better than the first one, and okay. There actually are a lot of people that think this is better than the first one. It has a higher Rotten Tomatoes rating for one. I don't know. He said it was like Indiana Jones, and I wrote, yeah, Indiana Jones if it was boring.
Yeah, if it was inept.
I like the word that Leonard Maltin used, interminable. Yeah, that's basically. I felt like I was just walking around in the jungle for 2 hours and nothing was happening.
Well, if you want that experience, I know the perfect movie for you to watch.
I know what you're about to mention. Alien Origin.
Yeah, Alien Origin.
It's the Alien Origin of action movies. Well, maybe not. Maybe not quite that bad, but the parts of it were just making me feel like I was wasting my time, like that movie.
Yeah.
And amazingly enough, okay, the plot. This is the one where she's looking for Pandora's box, and they made it boring. How?
Yeah.
If there's any just any way to just sum up how much this movie just doesn't work, it's like you made a movie about Pandora's box and made it boring.
Yeah. And there are some just kind of insane funny parts throughout, but the premise sounds like it should be good. She's hunting through Alexander the Great's temple where he had Pandora's box hidden, but then it's just not.
Nothing's happening, yeah.
Nothing good happens.
Part of the problem, I guess this is getting into our actual review of it and shit. We don't have the splendid pros and cons because who gives a fuck with these movies? With the first one, I couldn't decide what was a pro and what was a con, honestly. I was like,
yeah.
It was one of those types of movies, and with this one, I guess. But one of the first things I have written down, the CGI in this is horrendous.
It's really bad. There's a shark at the very beginning that just looks awful.
The shark in this, the Deep Blue Sea movies had better shark effects. It was like
I was just about to bring that up.
It was like if you remember Escape from LA, there's like a CGI shark in that very briefly.
Yes.
It felt like that. And the what? Should we just talk about that scene where the shark shows
Yeah.
up?
Let's just yeah.
There's like this. There's a lot of underwater scenes at the beginning of this movie, including this part where a shark comes up to her and she just punches the shark. I'm not done. There's more. She grabs the shark and then rides on it.
In order so that I can save her.
That is the only part of the movie that I was like, at least that was kind of funny bad. Like, the first movie was basically like if that scene was every other scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
So
is that
the
what
next
happened?
scene.
Did they take all the filler from the first movie and make it into this?
Put it in this one. They just repurposed all the in-between scenes.
Wow. Just wow. Angelina Jolie's British accent is still terrible.
Yeah, we need to talk about the next scene because this is the one character I want to spend just a little bit of time talking about.
Well,
Uh,
before I get to that, I will one actual positive I have for this movie,
yeah.
and it is an area where they do improve on the first one, the music.
Yep.
The music's actually pretty good in this.
Yeah, yeah. It feels like it fits a lot better than the first movies did.
It's Alan Silvestri, doing like an action score, and it's good because it's Alan Silvestri. So, and it's shot pretty well. It probably helps. It was a
Yeah.
John DeBont movie. The guy did Speed.
Yeah.
The lighting is pretty good. The camera work is good. The dialogue, though, nope, nope.
Pretty bad.
There's this one exchange towards the beginning where this guy is talking to her and he says, Lara, maybe this temple wasn't meant to be found. And then she says, everything lost is meant to be found. Yeah, you're winning an Oscar with that one. And that's another thing. Okay, that was something I didn't bring up with the first one. And with this one thing this carries over from the first one, the banter in this is really bad. The humor in both of these, whenever these movies are trying to be funny, it doesn't
They
work.
never are.
It's so bad. And there's a lot of bad banter in this one. She ends up on a submarine, and I was hoping it would be the Nautilus. That would make for a way more entertaining movie. But okay, I think I know what. Were we going to talk about Kyron Hines in this?
Yep. So Kyron Hines is this pathologist, like billionaire. He's given like this like evil meeting on a plane, basically taking the place of like the Spectre-looking Illuminati meeting from the first one, and one of the guys dies, and he's like, "That was an accelerated form of Ebola, deadliest disease known to man."
He put it in his wine too. It's like,
yeah.
And like from the moment you see this guy, you know he's the bad guy too. Like,
oh yeah.
He just something about just the way he looks and his expression, you can just tell. Like, I guess that's why. I guess he just gets typecast as villains a lot of.
Yeah.
And he's given that whole villain. That felt like, you know what that scene felt like. If you remember A View to a Kill, that part where Christopher Walken is having that meeting up in the blimp. Do you remember that scene?
Yeah, that pretty much is what that is.
That's basically, yeah. Like, so in the first one, okay, basically the first one, the bad guy felt more like a Dan Brown villain. In this one, he's basically a Bond villain.
Yeah. And like his whole motivation that we find out, his entire motivation is just he wants to kill as many people as possible with diseases.
He straight up says at one point he wants to kill children with diseases.
Yeah, like that's his entire motivation.
He's just pure evil. And I will say, like Ian Glenn in the first movie, his character is terribly written, but I mean, he does the best with what he's given. Although, Like, you can tell he's hamming it up, but it's like really the only engaging performance in this movie.
Yeah.
He's also apparently a scientist that won the Nobel Prize.
I forgot about that.
And now he's trying to just spread Ebola, I guess. Yeah. Just no nuance to that character at all. Lara Croft trains with a guy in a ninja outfit, and they fight with sticks. It was just whatever. It wasn't as enjoyable as the weird robot fight from the first one.
No.
You see, that was the thing. The first one, the first one's a bad movie, but at least it had like some enjoyable parts due to how ridiculous it got. With this one, it felt like they were trying to be a normal movie and then failed at it.
Yeah.
Because you don't care about the characters or the story. The action scenes aren't that great, and they're pretty spread out. There's a lot of exposition in this, and it's just like I fell asleep during that whole like history lecture that Lara Croft was giving about the Cradle of Life. Something about an Egyptian pharaoh. I don't even know. And also, they pair her up with Gerard Butler in this movie. Because I guess they couldn't get Daniel Craig back. So they're like... No. Gerard Butler, he didn't play James Bond, but he does have a minor role in Tomorrow Never Dies.
Okay.
So he's been in a Bond movie. Very briefly. And yeah, so she gets him out of prison. Basically, it's the whole Snake Plissken thing. Like, if you go on this mission with me, we'll pardon your crimes. And you just get these endless scenes of Lara Croft and Gerard Butler walking around in a jungle talking.
Yeah, it's this really bad romance plot where, like, there's no chemistry.
No chemistry at all. I mean, granted, she didn't have much chemistry with Daniel Craig in the first one, but there's a little bit more than there was here.
Yeah.
I guess because Daniel Craig is that charismatic that even with that god-awful American accent, he can get something up. And they, like, go up a mountain. There's hardly any action for, like, the first third of this movie. It's just so boring. I paused at one point to see how far I was into it. And I wrote, 41 minutes? Are you serious? Where's the action?
Yeah, no, it takes so long to get there.
That's really bad when, like, you have an action movie, and not only is there not much action, but the actual action scenes are just kind of lame.
Yeah.
I will say, though, the set design is decent, I guess.
Yeah, I thought especially seeing, like, at one point she fights a guy in this hall that's full of, like, a bunch of terracotta army soldiers that he bought.
Oh, right, yeah. The fight wasn't very good, but yeah.
No, the fight was pretty bad, but, like...
That's the thing. Nice, the thing is, the first one at least had kind of this gleeful absurdity to parts of it. Whereas with this one, it was just so generic and bland and just, like, I'm more disappointed if a movie is just boring and bland than if it's just crazy, I guess. So that's, I guess, where our opinions sort of differ. At least on which one offended us more, but I guess I wasn't that. I don't know. I can't really get that mad at this because it's fucking Lara Croft Tomb Raider, the Cradle of Life.
Yeah.
The only other part that I had that was the part where they're going down ropes on a cliff really fast and like shooting at people. I was like, okay, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Kind of, but it was something. Like, did they seriously expect us to care about these characters?
You want to know one other thing that I read about this? There's not really any tomb raiding in this movie, except for like the beginning scene.
Not really, no. First one did, but yeah, this didn't really have it. Yeah, no. Maybe they should have just called it. Maybe you shouldn't have just had that in the fucking title. It should have just been Lara Croft, Cradle of Life. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe that would have sounded too much like I don't know. Cradle of Life. That makes it sound like some kind of like pregnancy movie or something.
Yeah.
It's a bad title. It's a really bad title.
It is.
But yeah, I didn't care about these characters. Like, I mean, look, Gerard Butler. He's a good actor, but not even he could make this guy interesting. He's just about the most generic cookie cutter character you could put in this. That's something that's consistent with both these movies. No character development. And this is a longer movie too. This is a 2-hour movie. The first one's like an hour 40.
Yeah, this one's a lot longer.
It felt so long, and I was so fed up with it before I was even at the halfway mark. uh, there was this part where the bad guys get stuck in an elevator because this kid pressed all the buttons, which remember, I watched this 2 days after Christmas, so I was thinking of Elf during that scene
Yeah.
because it made me think of that poor guy in the elevator from Elf when he like rubs all the buttons, so it's just
Stop on every floor.
it looks like a Christmas tree. That's a funny movie. Oh god, I'll take Elf any day over these two fucking movies. They break into a building. I don't care how, why, or what. I was just zoning out.
Like,
I was zoning
yeah.
out during a lot of this movie too. I was just looking at my computer or doing other shit.
I really don't have a lot of notes after this scene except for what happens immediately after, just because it was so boring and just like nothing was happening.
I know, yeah. It's like it's the alien origin of action movies. There was this big there were action scenes in a mall, and I was like writing, how is this even a Tomb Raider movie? This feels more like a bad Die Hard ripoff.
The most entertaining part of this movie is after they're done with all their shenanigans in Shanghai. They're like in some random rural Chinese village, and there's a kid watching SpongeBob in Chinese on the TV.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the scene goes on for like 5 minutes, so you're just there watching SpongeBob for 5 minutes randomly.
I can even tell which season the episode was from. It was from season 1.
Yeah.
And during that scene, I was like just thinking, great movie. Now you're just making me wish I was watching SpongeBob in Chinese.
Yeah.
Which I would rather do that. I'd rather just put on SpongeBob in Chinese with no subtitles for 2 hours than watch this again. I'd get more out of it.
After that scene, I don't have like any notes until the finale.
Oh, another line I had written down is a pretty good villain line, I'll admit. Well, not good, but like just if the movie had more lines like this, it would have been a lot better just because of how cartoonish it was. Like the villain says, "Wouldn't the world be a better place without people?" That was like the only enjoyment I was getting out of this was just how like just Kyron Hines was just so cartoonishly evil in this.
Yeah.
Just chewing the scenery. Literally, the only time this movie ever gained any kind of life was when he was on screen.
Yeah.
During the rest of it was boring. They jump off a building, which that felt more like Mission Impossible.
Yeah, my biggest remark on this is, this just feels like a bad knockoff action movie.
And they couldn't decide
It
which
doesn't.
action movie to rip off after a while. Because it starts off as Indiana Jones. Then it kind of turns into James Bond. Then it kind of turns into Die Hard. Then it kind of turns into Mission Impossible. And it does all of them poorly, I should point out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're literally better off watching just about any movie from those respective series. Well, except maybe Good Day to Die Hard. That one's pretty hard to sit through. At one point, I just wrote in my notes more boring parts.
Yeah. That's a pretty good summary.
There's a part where a jeep drives around while flamingos and ostriches are running around, and I wrote that part looks like a nature documentary. It was shot like that.
Yeah. The most interesting thing they caught on camera.
My next note. They find a tribe, and it's still boring.
Yeah.
I wrote, like, so much of this movie, it's just people walking around and talking. Like, maybe if they cut out all the filler, this would be something. Maybe.
But they don't. It just gets lost in just. It's just kind of garbage. It just feels real, like, low quality, low effort.
I feel like if it weren't for, like, the production values, I would just think this was, like, a direct-to-DVD movie.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised it's not just a direct-to-DVD.
Kind of, yeah. Because, again, this is a movie where I can see where the money went, but just, like, the locations mainly. And the actors, but, like, aside from that, it's just, like...
Yeah.
You could have gotten better, like, fight choreographers, like, I don't know. Or a better script. That's the most important. I paused it again to look at how much time was left, and there was still almost half an hour left of running time.
Yeah.
And I wrote, Jesus Christ, why? I mean, maybe I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, this is because this is the same guy that did Speed, but it's also the same guy that did Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Not a great track record.
And the remake of The Haunting. So, is Speed his own... What other movies... Oh, I guess... Twister.
That's really it. Yeah.
Aside from Twister and Speed, he's really not done anything worth mentioning. Directing wise, at least. This is his last movie, too. That he directed.
Which is pretty depressing note to end on.
I can kind of see why.
Yeah.
They find this weird CGI monster.
That just looks awful.
It looked like a creature from, like, the Lord of the Rings or, like, the Hobbit or something. Like, what the fuck was it doing?
I was gonna say, like, The Mist.
Or Doom. Maybe it's from Doom. It was, yeah, the effects were terrible. This came out around the same time as Lord of the Rings, and the effects in those look way better.
Yeah.
It was so random, though. Like, why? Like, what?
And also, just, like, open...
That was also the point of the movie where I was like, okay, it's a little late for stuff to be happening, isn't it? Like,
you gotta waited too long for this.
She fights the main villain in a cave, and he falls into some black liquid.
He dies in the Prometheus goo.
He looks all scary and melted for a little bit. And another thing I wrote also, what's the point of having Pandora's box in a movie if you're not going to have someone open it?
Yeah, no, it never gets opened. It never gets used.
I kept forgetting Pandora's box is in this movie, and it's because they don't fucking use it. Why the fuck would you not use it? It's just... It's like the most boring way you could have done that.
Yeah, and then it all unceremoniously ends with Laura killing the love interest because he wanted to take the box for himself to sell it or something.
Gerard Butler just turns into a bad guy at the end for like no reason. And it's like, okay,
Yeah,
why? What? It's okay, whatever. That's kind of this movie. Just okay, whatever.
yeah.
Overall thoughts. I don't have anything else.
It's bad. Don't watch it. There's nothing redeeming.
At least the first one is like, the first one you can laugh at some of it. It's not good either.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's just like, how the hell did they manage to make a movie about? How do you manage to make a movie about Pandora's box and make it boring? Because Pandora's box is literally like you open it, it unleashes pandemonium.
pandemonium.
That's the last word I would use to describe this stupid piece of shit. Like, I'm getting a little bit heated right now, aren't I? Okay, the action, it's like so spread out. It's just and really generic anyway, so you're just bored by it. The plot and characters are so dull that you don't care about that either. Like, there are a few things though. The part where she punches the shark and like rides on it. I mean,
yeah, you can at least get a laugh out of that scene.
you know what? Just look up that scene on YouTube and then just don't watch the rest
That's
of
the
it.
only. Yeah, yeah.
It's the only memorable part. That and like Kyron Hines' hammy performance.
Yeah.
The weird monster that shows up. It's like, what? Yeah, just I would say skip it. I remember the 2018 one being boring, but honestly, it was probably less boring than this one.
It's hard to imagine it being worse.
But I don't remember anything. The thing is, I don't remember anything about the 2018 one. Then again, I didn't remember anything about this one either before I watched it again. So I guess you couldn't stand the first one, I couldn't stand the second one, so it evens out.
Which doesn't look great for the series.
No.
Well, I guess with that,
Next
time we'll be watching a...
Did you have anything else before we...
No, it just sucks. the both just suck.
They're both pretty bad movies. I would say, like... do I want... I kind of want to tell people to watch the first one just because of how stupid and ridiculous it is, but then again, you had that reaction to it, so maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah.
So... But definitely don't watch the second one. I mean...
Yeah, no, avoid that second one at all costs.
The first one, like... I mean... is there a riff tracks of it? Let me see if there's a riff tracks of it. If there's a riff tracks of it, then yeah, watch the first one if it has like a riff tracks. But I'm seeing if there's a... I don't know if there is one or not. Probably not. Or you know what? Okay, actually, if you have like a group of friends and you just want to sit and make fun of a movie, then that's the way. That's how you watch the first one. Is that fair?
Yeah. That and a lot of alcohol.
Don't watch it alone. Watch it drunk and with a bunch of friends and maybe...
Exactly.
Or like drunk or like high or something. Then yeah, there you
go. Just not sober.
Don't watch it sober. Okay. Are we gonna review the 2018 one or not? What do you think?
I don't see us doing that one, no.
Fair enough. I don't even remember who directed it. I don't even remember.
I don't remember. Roar Utag. Norwegian guy.
What the... Roar Uthag? Is his first name Roar?
Yeah, Roar Uthaug. The first caveman director of a movie.
I have never. Yeah, roar. I've never heard of any of his other movies. He did
He
some.
did Troll and Troll 2, but like they're like Norwegian Godzilla ripoffs.
What? He did some movie called The Wave, which apparently got award nominations.
Huh.
It was Norway's official submission for the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film, but it failed to be nominated. So he's done at least one movie
Not a
that got.
great sign.
He's done at least one movie that got like critical praise. So there's that, or at least was deemed good enough to submit to the Academy Awards, even if it didn't get nominated.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are not very good movies. Granted,
just avoid them.
Maybe look up a few scenes on YouTube. You know what? Actually, look up some scenes from the first movie on YouTube, and that should help you decide if you want to watch it or not, or like a review of it or so. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. So next time we'll
be doing a better movie.
The Fanatic. Oh wait. At some point we should do The Fanatic, but no, our next podcast we're doing a huge breath of fresh air for you, I'm sure, for a few dollars more.
Yes. And I'm very excited to see that one.
It's the second of the Dollars trilogy. The only one you haven't seen.
Yeah.
I have seen it, but it's been
a while.
When was I don't even remember the last time. They show it on TV a lot though, because I swear, like every time my dad's in the living room, I can hear the fucking music from that movie playing. But yeah, it's a very change of pace from what else we've done. I mean, we haven't really done westerns.
Yeah, no, that should be a fun one.
Aside from Dusk Till Dawn 3, I guess.
My favorite western.
I mean, hey, it has Clint Eastwood in it.
Yeah.
It's an excuse to get Clint Eastwood on the podcast.
Yeah, we haven't had him yet.
Yeah. I've had Lee Van Cleef before, though. Yeah. When are we gonna record that, do you think?
First let's finish up the outro. Roll the Andy Griffith.
Yeah.
Good night, you stupid idiot. Good night, you miserable slob.